Hey, how? Hey, howdy, hi, hello, hola, privyet, bonjour, guten tag. What is up, Vikings? How goes it? How's your guys' week been? Okay. How's your guys' week been? Ours has been, well, soggy, wet, cold, miserable. If there is significant lag or the stream drops today, my apologies. It's been raining for like 4 to 5 days now at this point with like frigid freezing temperatures and high winds. So like the internet is kind of like spotty. Hence why I have not been necessarily as active as I have been in the past and haven't been posting as much stuff on YouTube. So apologies for that. As much as I can apologize for the weather. Kind of is what it is. Anyways, let me do a real quick membership shout out, and then I will get right to the discussion of the update that we recently had. As well as discussing a little bit about the celebratory Asgard and some other stuff. So, Boomer, Cats, Gwen, Modib, Snowman TG, and Yellow, thank you guys for being paid, continued members of the channel. If you guys are interested in paid memberships, check out the link that goes to this. Merch, memberships, and more. Memberships are here. They will link your Discord directly to members only Discord, so you guys don't have to ask Amber and I to add you. Okay. Lord. Oh, nice. Congrats. Yeah, we've had here it's been stressful just purely because of weather. We've had like flooding warnings, high winds, and like just really horrid weather for this time of year. We don't have any snow yet. We had like a light dusting the other day. Normally we've got like a fair amount of snow. this year it's looking like it's going to be extremely late. So, anyways, now as far as update goes, this last update that they gave us for winter update added some stuff and didn't add some stuff. So normally for the winter update, we get a fairly large update in general. Palace levels, VIP, like, of course, that stuff was all added throughout earlier this year. Normally that stuff is our December update, either December or summer. The winter update, this added some kind of like interesting stuff to the game as far as like the fixes and other things. But we'll get to that. So, winter update. First of all, the major update was the winter fair. Upcoming fair, you'll have a chance to earn a unique March skin, the Werewolf. Attack your regular and enhanced enemies, as we all know the fair. Blah, 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 blah. Don't need to explain the fair because, yeah, exactly. I don't want a big update right now either. So, we all know the fair as it sits. VIP is going slow for me. So is knowledge. But as we all know with the fair, March skins. This is the Werewolf. Troop health during defense, 500%. Troop defense when guarding a fortress, 500%. T9 warrior offense against T8, which is fairly large, 20%. Troop offense when capturing a fortress, 500%. Warrior number when sending reinforcements, 400%. Shaman influence on enemy troop offense, 5%. This is going to be, in my opinion anyway, with these stats, this is going to be the March skin for Battle for the Light. As far as, like, how it will affect other things, Home Gang, Asgard, the Throne of Jotunheim, these are all things that are going to be very apt for this skin. It is more troop generalized versus troop specific. Of course, the T9 again, offense against T8. That 20% will be huge when it comes to people that still use T8 in Battle for the Light and people that are already using T9. But this is going to be one of those March skins that a lot of people are going to push into the ranking to get. As far as, like, the fair goes, well, I mean, it kind of is what it is. The fair, in my opinion, is not an event that I will, like, kill myself for. Not something that I see myself, like, spending money on. But, to those of you that want a March skin, this is going to be one of the big ones when it comes to using T9 against T8 in general. Hello! As that is not necessarily a specific location bonus. That 20% against T8 from T9 will go anywhere. So, I mean, like, towns, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So, back here. Fury! In the competition, there will now be 2 new categories of tasks in which you need to kill enemy warriors. The first one will be eliminating warriors in clan strongholds and raven towers. The second one is eliminating warriors in towns. So, we are finally getting a category specifically for Fury, where you'll get a specific set of points for killing warriors in towns, as well as killing warriors in strongholds and raven towers. I have no idea where this exactly will sit, like, Fury Tower points, but I do know that it getting its specific point set for towns as well as fortresses will give us way more of bonuses to work for towards other things. I don't know how, like, apt these points are going to be, but it will give us more of a general sense As far as playing strongholds, Raven Towers, and towns in Fury. Again, I believe the draw for Fury will be more towards towers, but I guess we will see. Fury this month it has not been announced that it's a special Fury or anything, so I believe this next Fury that starts on the 26th of December, the day after Christmas, will be when we will see these new categories take effect. Of course, like, that could change. These new categories might need to be balanced out. So, of course, like, with this next Fury coming up, if these categories are active, keep in mind that the points could be balanced or changed based on where the points are seen needed or how Polarium kind of wants the events to balance. Additional tasks and new competition during the battle for the throne. We've added a task in which you need to eliminate enemy warriors in the throne of Jotunheim, and a new competition tied to this task will appear. Follow in-game announcements so you don't miss the event. When it comes to this, them changing anything in Jotunheim, it's always seen with kind of a mixed bundle of things, as far as like, well, this could be good, this could be bad, but this, I believe, this new task is going to be killing, probably my guess would be T9, in the throne of Jotunheim. As we all know, like, generally the throne is a interesting cacophony of stuff, but it'll be interesting to see what the new competition has for rewards. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to hinge this competition on the rewards, not just the task. If it's killing T9 in the throne, that's fairly simple. I mean, anybody can, like, kind of semi-attack / launch an OS at the throne of Jotunheim, but it's going to be interesting to see what the competition gives for rewards. T9 are expensive, as far as, like, people that already have them, but it'll be interesting to see what the rewards give out, really. Justifying the cost and the time of the event, as well as the rewards it gives, or whether it's clan and personal, should be kind of a fair indicator, but we don't know either one of those details as of yet. So it's just kind of that. Yeah, see, like, Nanoblade, that makes perfect sense. If you have a March skin generalized for towns and you have a March skin generalized for fortresses, that's really all you need. Unless they add a March skin specifically for scouts. In my opinion, those are like the three main areas you want. Most of us use multiple troop types, so having troop-specific town skins or March skins, we would have to swap those out, versus like the generalized like this are always, like, personally, the generalized would be way towards my go-to versus the generalized troop-specific. Okay, subscriptions and convoys. These are ladders of paid and free subscriptions. You can view all of the offers in the ladder at once, but you'll only be able to purchase and receive them one step at a time. If subscription convoys are available to you, you'll see the corresponding icon on the town screen. Now, what I saw yesterday throughout the community is when they clicked on this icon right here, see if it still goes on. When they clicked on this icon, they were getting booted from the game. So, along with this update right here, what also came out was a new infirmary expander and infirmary cooldown boost. These down here, I mean, of course, like, I can't see them, and I mean, you have to purchase the other ones above it anyway, but I mean, there's nothing there. But the infirmary expanding Yeah, exactly. In my opinion, that would be take way too much time when attacking towns, etc., etc. So, the Infirmary Expander adds roughly 1 billion space to your infirmary. So using the Infirmary Expander would roughly give me 1.2 billion in space, which is kind of cool. Considering the fact most of us send like a gigantic amount of troops. So the infirmary catching all of that is awesome. When it comes to the infirmary cooldown, so let me see. Let me double check something before I say something. So, as far as cooldown roughly is 15 seconds. When it comes to the infirmary cooldown, it takes 5 seconds of that time off. That adds, roughly means 10 seconds left. Now, if you're using the infirmary cooldown boost and you're shaving that 5 seconds and you get a blue ring, you get lagged, you get kicked out of the game, you have to reload for some reason, etc., etc., etc. The infirmary cooldown will pretty much be over anyway by the time you get back into the game, by the time you reload, by the time your internet catches back up, your blue rings disappear, etc., etc., etc. Thus, roughly, depending on how strong your connection to the game is, how the event is generally going, if the servers are lagging, if your connection is lagging in any way, the infirmary cooldown won't necessarily be visible. But they have added an infirmary cooldown. Personally, I will never use one. It's just kind of my thing. Like the troops I use, when I lose them, I lose them. That's just kind of it. I know people that also resurrect them for marble, or other things, but personally, the infirmary cooldown to me doesn't hold a real big draw. 15 seconds in the course of things. I mean, even when our clan or clans, us and our allied clan giants, are rapid firing onslaughts in Jotunheim, the infirmary cooldown would not necessarily, to me, justify having more of a budget when it comes to that. So, these subscriptions are like these we get 1 day for, these you get once every 3 days, and the boosts are once every 3 days as well. That is the new subscription convoy. That's it right there. Okay, 2 subscriptions for the infirmary. 1 increases capacity, the other reduces healing cooldown. Find them in the subscription convoy. They have also now added T9 to the Swift Phantom subscription. T9, if those of you have never used them, T9 move epically slow. If you go now and you look at Swift Phantom, T8 marching speed 1,500%. Using that in the past, I've demonstrated how T8 move roughly the same speed as T1 when you are using Swift Phantom. I haven't used Swift Phantom or had Swift Phantom, and I don't have T9s, but I believe that roughly, since they move extremely slow as it is, I've used T9s once for that new gear test that I did live. Using T9s with the subscription, I believe that it will be roughly the same as what the subscription itself did to T8. I believe they will move blindingly fast. To me personally, again, I won't spend for it. But I do know people that live religiously by Swift Phantom during Jotunheim and other stuff. So those on T9, Swift Phantom is going to be very much as far as moving your troops in a fast, timely amount. If you're trying to quickly join onslaughts, trying to quickly get your troops from one place to another place, the Swift Phantom subscription will absolutely help that now, especially with the additional march speed of T9 themselves. So that is kind of awesome as far as like them adding it. But again, like, I mean, there's still quite a few people away from T9s as far as like using them in general. I am one of them. I mean, it takes like a staggering amount of, it will take me a staggering amount of chaos to get my T9s unlocked. But as far as Swift fandom goes, instead of them adding another subscription in general just for T9, they decided to change the already existing subscription and add T9 into it. Okay, and changed Battle Pass events. You can now have several different events available at the same time. Purchase passes for these events to unlock more tasks and rewards. Let me see if that is currently up in my game. It wasn't earlier. Okay, here we go. Battle Pass. So, before, all of these were kind of lumped into one generalized list. Everything we had to do, either the tasks would change periodically, or the tasks were relatively all roughly the same, going all the way down. Now we have specific battle passes for specific things. For instance, if you look at each one of these, they've got different tasks. As far as like spend marble, purchase bank offers, train T9, spend shaman power, yield food, stone, iron, lumber, blah, 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 blah. Enter Vikings War of Clans, lose T9, purchase gold in the bank. Purchase gold as part of a bank offer, resurrect T8, resurrect T9, earn chaos elements, spend hero energy. And then, of course, you've got the paid side of things, and naturally separate rewards. The different rewards obviously go like this one goes to a scout rune. Show your power. The tasks roughly are almost the same, just for a shorter period of time. There isn't like, I mean, there's killing here versus training or resurrecting. Purchase bank offers again. And then, of course, like different rewards, free rewards versus battle pass rewards for paid. So we can now do a side-by-side comparison as far as what we're getting versus what we're paying for. So kind of help you guys, like, again, free rewards versus paid rewards, tasks. It kind of helps, again, if you are spending on these, to focus like one at a time, break down which tasks you want to focus on versus which tasks like you don't necessarily want to pay attention to. Again, most of these tasks are things that we do in the game anyway, so it's not that horrible, but it is another spending point. So like, I mean, if you're maxing these out regularly, it might be worth the cost. Personally, like, I don't spend on battle pass stuff or anything like that in any game unless I'm absolutely for sure going to max it. Because I mean, like, really, once you've spent on it, there is no like refund there. So it's kind of one of those things. If you're absolutely for sure going to max it, then by all means, if you have the extra money, why not? If you're not sure you're gonna max it, then I mean, personally, I would hold off. To my knowledge, you can buy Battle Pass right before it ends. Yeah, see, like, losing, in general, to me, losing troops as a task in any event is infuriating. I don't throw troops needlessly. I mean, granted, the onslaughts, some of the onslaughts and stuff like that I join, with the strength of me, could be seen as throwing my troops needlessly, but I at least get something out of it. For one, I'm participating with my clan. For two, it is kind of one of those things of like, there's a goal there. It's not just purely throwing troops to lose troops. If I wanted to throw troops to lose troops, I would spend countless hours literally bashing spies into towns that give me horrible, horrible returns. So, but multiple battle passes now. One was roughly, let me see. One was roughly like a week and 2 days long. The rest all have the same 2-day, 5-hour timer. So like, I mean, it's just kind of take it as you go. Again, like I said, personally, I don't see the point in it. If I max them all religiously and regularly, then there might be way more of a draw for me to personally do it. But I don't necessarily pay that much attention to the battle pass or like the fair. Roughly, I kind of like do it free as I go, and that's just kind of that. So, also, they fixed the displaying material qualities in the forge quantities. Previously, if you had too many materials, who knows? I've never seen this glitch. However, evidently, if you had too many materials, the quantity would appear as a negative number. I never saw that. Personally, never experienced it. The gear I've been working on is all maxed, so, I mean, not necessarily a thing. Displaying March skins in Onslaught. The March skin chosen by the Onslaught initiator is now correctly displayed on the global map. So if you were joining Onslaughts before or if you were setting Onslaughts before, you were the Onslaught driver, and you had a March skin on, it was not necessarily displaying that March skin when the Onslaught sent, but is now, blah, 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 blah. Of course, in order to update the game, we'll carry out technical maintenance, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that is roughly it for the update. Now, the other big thing, I will be returning to this shortly. The other big thing that came out recently that was big in the community was this. The ruler guard. Oh, I cannot type for the love of Jesus. That is horrible. Ruler guard in the seasonal store. Let me respell that. God, that's wretched. Okay, there we go. Oh, man. Yeah. Upgrading gear got rough. So, ruler guard in the seasonal store. Now, there's been a lot of people that, like, I've seen this back and forth as far as, like, what the generalized, cost was, as far as, like, people feeling that, ruler guard should have been more affordable. Oh, we called it. I will put it this. We called it. Amber and I said it would be odd if, like, it would be odd if it carried over. It was 500 million metals. It would be very odd if it was 500 million runic coins. Doubling the cost. 1 billion was about where we were at anyways. 1 billion was about as far as, like, 1 billion was about, like, where we figured the cost would be. Now, I've seen it said fair price. I've seen it said too expensive. Here's the thing. The stats on the ruler skin are still fairly high. Let me pull this up because I don't feel like going and retrieving a chart. The stats on ruler skin are still fairly high and fairly used. It's 750% T8 warrior offense, T8 warrior health, 1000% offense when attacking towns, 500% total health, 500% total defense, and offense during an attack against T3. Most people, unless they have like trillions of T1 or 2, most people have a T3 wall in front of their T4. I mean, when it comes to, I think my troops, there's a T3 wall. But in general, the stats on this skin are still fairly worth it in general to get. Now, the other side of this, there are people that have earned this skin in ranking. People that earned this skin from the throne of Jotunheim. People that bought this skin out of the Neon store for anywhere from 1,800 to 2,200 USD. So 1 billion runic coins just makes sense. It is still a fairly well bonused and balanced skin in general. Not to mention, I mean, who doesn't like a fire spitting dragon sitting on top of their town breathing fire everywhere? It's just kind of awesome. It is one of the animated skins that I absolutely love the animation of. But 1 billion runic coins for a level 1 skin. Now, the upgrade requirements for ruler aren't near as bad now as they were previously. Previously, to upgrade ruler was roughly, it was a relative pain, but comparative to other skins such as like Guard of Life, Guard of Cosmos, Guard of Thor, the requirements for upgrading it are fairly cheap anymore. I mean, most of us have Guard of Life, for instance. Most of us got Guard of Life a while ago or have had it for a good while and are working on upgrading it in general. For those of you that do not know off the top of your head what Guard of Life looks like, right here, Guard of Life. So, once you get up past level 10, it changes dramatically. You then need Asgard stones and runic stones in order to upgrade it. It also, the requirements for upgrading it get fairly high. It becomes an extremely hard skin to max, and it kicks in an added T9 bonus. Of course, as I have said multiple times before, anything with a T9 bonus on it is going to be expensive. Not only expensive to upgrade, but if you don't have it already, it's going to be expensive to purchase. So, the ruler skin being 1 billion for a level 1 guard, might be off-putting to some people as far as cost. But it is not that hard to max the Guard of Ruler anymore. It is not that expensive. And it still gives fairly good, comparable, decent stats, depending upon what you're doing. The T8 Warrior Offense, T8 Warrior Health, Total Defense, all affect your T8 troops and your troops in general anywhere. Defense, offense, scouting, reinforcing, onslaughting, etc., etc., etc. Versus the 2 stats, troop offense when attacking towns and offense during an attack against T3. Those specifically are specific actions. So as far as stats go, it is a very well balanced skin. At 1 billion runics, it is not that too far to realize that 1 billion runics is a fair and somewhat reasonable price as far as buying it in the Neon store or as far as earning it out of events. The amount of troops you would have earned or would have used to earn it out of events, and then the amount of other time and stuff you would have put into maxing it at the time that it came out was expensive. Now it is way more affordable compared to what we see out of other events and what we see out of other rankings and competitions. I don't know a lot of people that necessarily have 1 billion runics to just drop on a town skin. For one, I'm not one. I have 65 million runics now. I think the total that I have had personally is around 120 to 100 or to 200 million. But 1 billion runics. So, I've seen it also said that, anybody that has 1 billion runics probably also has the Guard of Ruler already. I have not seen any bank offers that ease the 1 billion runic cost. I Granted, I don't check the bank religiously for offers. Let me see. I have been asked about several runic offers or runic coin. Favorite trio, we've seen that one before. I mean, things like this will get someone closer to the 1 billion runic cost in general, but I haven't seen anything that will like epically like give you those 1 billion runics just like almost. I mean, I don't want to say outright, but at the same time, like, I haven't seen anything that is going to give you those 1 billion runic coins just like for like say $200 to $500. They're all going to get you fairly close or closer than you are already. But I mean, unless you're like directly on the cusp of already almost having 1 billion runics, it's going to be like you're still going to have to earn, spend, etc., to get closer to that mark if you already don't have the skin. So, like, I mean, you need 999 million? Like, yeah, it definitely needs to be saved up. It's not anything anybody's going to spend or buy or purchase or have, like, overnight. Like I said, I've got 65.7 mil. I haven't spent anything runic-wise for quite a while. Well, I mean, to be honest, I spent for the 1 million coffers that gave us 1.5 million back, but that was about it. I normally don't spend on anything. So for that. And again, okay, so players now have the goal to buy or save runic coins for Easter. Possibly. Yes, that is possible. We don't know when this season is over, and here's the hard part. We don't know when the season is over when Ruler will return to the seasonal store. We didn't know originally it was going to be in the seasonal store. It was one of those things that we were told it will never be in the seasonal store in general. So now it being like thrown in there for a holiday event or a holiday like for Yule in general, Christmas, New Year's, etc., whatever you want to call this season. Now there's going to be the thing where people are going to save their runic coins to get it out of the seasonal store if they don't already have it. Now, what this could mean is we could see Cosmos go from a ranking skin to the clan store, the Asgard store. Instead of having double rulers, the ruler skin here, we could see very much it being retired from the clan store, Cosmos taking its place, and the ruler skin possibly rotating in and out of the seasonal store in general. I don't know how like apt that is going to be or how often that is going to be, but it is something we could see like way more of as far as it rotating in and out periodically. I've said it, I've also seen it said, and I've also seen it like denied. We could also start to see King's Gear maybe at some point be shifted to the seasonal store on and off. It's just going to kind of depend on if they come out with another hero gear that is if they come out with another hero gear that either is in replace of or very comparable to King's Gear that can only be earned in specific ways, then we might potentially see King's Gear shift and go over. But keep in mind, again, that would be very heavily cost. I mean, like, if Ruler Skin went from 500 million medals to 1 billion runics, it would be reasonable to see that at some point, if King's Gear ever hit the seasonal store, it would probably be very comparable in cost to what the Ruler Skin is, roughly 750 million to 1 billion per piece, which would mean which would mean it would be roughly 6 billion for the entire set, on top of 1 billion for ruler. So 7 billion for that entire smorgasbord right there. So again, I don't know. Thor absolutely will not be in the store for some time. It is still a fairly new ranking skin. Cosmos, I mean, it took a while for ruler to hit the store, and then for ruler to finally hit the seasonal store. So like Cosmos, I believe, will be the next skin to hit the Asgard store. As far as like the timing for it hitting, I believe it is still going to be quite a while before we see Cosmos itself go to the Asgard store itself. But that's just like, again, my opinion. I could be entirely wrong. Again, like we were told we'd never have shaman doubles. We have those. Ruler would never be in the seasonal store. We have that. King's Gear would never be in any store, period. We now have that. So like, it just kind of depends. There could be some definite things upcoming that shake the balance of things. But as it sits now, this is kind of where we're at. 1 billion runics isn't too far in comparison as far as like how expensive it's been. And again, seeing things double in cost from the Asgard store to the seasonal store is almost common. Normally, things go from the Asgard store to the seasonal store and almost triple in cost. Hence the cost of like, hence the cost of gear, versus like the cost of gear. 55 million here, 110 million medals there, versus 40 million here, 20 million here. So like it really just kind of like, hello, it really just kind of depends. It can go either way. Of course, anything that gives major attack bonuses is going to be generally more expensive. Anything that gives T9 bonuses is going to be epically more expensive. And anything with T9 bonuses, it's almost guaranteed it's not going to be in the seasonal store for a while. So there's that. All right, that is roughly all I had for today. Thank God the internet like held out for the last like 50 minutes of this stream. Anyways, that's roughly all I had for today. If you guys are watching this later, drop in the comments what you think of this update, or if you're watching this now, it's up to you. Drop in the comments of this live. Of course, it'll be a video then. Drop in the comments what you feel about this update, the changes, what you feel about the cost of ruler, how you feel about like the in general, like the battle passes, the upcoming fair, the new fair skin. This right here. I believe personally that the fair skin should have way more like total bonuses to them, just like this: troop health, troop defense, troop offense, during specific actions and other things versus more specific, because in general that's gonna make it way more of a competition in order to get those. But again, my personal opinion. Anyways, thank you guys for chilling with me today. I hope you have an amazingly awesome week. I'm going to try to come up with a giveaway for Christmas. Have an awesome, amazing week. A fantastic rest of your celebratory Asgard, which the checkpoints, of course, are easier to grab with more medals up for grab due to the holiday season. Be safe. Stay safe regardless of your weather. If you have cold weather, stay warm. If you have warm weather, stay cold. If you have wet weather, stay dry. Do not forget to go outside and touch some grass at some time in your gaming misadventures. Thank you guys for chilling and being here with me today. I will see you guys around in the community and on the next live stream. Thanks for watching.